You watch body cams and you go, oh, so every single time the cop shoots someone, it's justified. There was an officer-involved shooting in Florida a few days ago. A woman named Tequila Walker was shot multiple times, actually survived apparently, and now she's arrested. And I want to talk about this, although this is not a big national news story. But there's a reason for that, and we'll discuss it. And really, the reason, once again, is that there's a body cam. That there is footage of this event. It's interesting that police shootings are the one kind of story where it's less likely to be a national story if there is a video of it. What does that tell you? Now, I'm not sure how much of this we can actually show on YouTube. I suspect not very much, but here is the footage. Watch.
Drop the knife now! Drop it!
The knife down!
Oh, God have mercy, y'all had to shoot. Y'all could taser. Y'all could have taser. Y'all had to shoot.
Suspect's down. She got a taser. We did taser.
Who shot?
She came at me with a knife. What the hell did you expect me to do?
Somebody call that.
Cover me. Cover me. Now, come back
Y'all
out.
had to kill the child.
Knife down.
Okay, so you won't be able to see some of that or all of it, I don't know, but Tequila Walker was surrounded by police. She got out of her car. She charged at an officer with the knife that she was holding. And that's when she was shot. They tried hitting her with the taser, but it had no effect because she's a very large, obese woman. So the taser probably just bounced off her. And her blubber, her lard, her fat is probably also the reason why she's alive today. You know, sometimes obesity saves lives, apparently. And it did in the case of Tequila Walker. So that's interesting. But notice the bystander. So there's somebody standing off to the side, Monday morning quarterbacking it, which is always, I guess you're very used to that as a police officer, but that's how you're in a high pressure situation, life or death struggle, and you've got somebody off on the side. No, I wouldn't have done it that way. That's not how I would have done it. So she says, why didn't you tase her? You didn't have to shoot her. And the cop points out that we did tase her. We did. And she still charged at us with a knife. What are we supposed to do? Just let her stab us? What do you want me to do? Now, I think the officer shouldn't have bothered getting into a back and forth with that woman, but it was a good question. What are we supposed to do? What do you want us to do? Just get stabbed? Or you want me to get into hand-to-hand combat with this enormous woman who outweighs me by 400 pounds probably? And now this is where, if not for body cams, this is where the BLM propaganda campaign would begin. It's very interesting to see this stuff now because there's like this alternative in this parallel universe, right? If we imagine some sci-fi scenario where there's constantly branching parallel universes, every choice, you make is like there's another universe where you made a different choice. So we're living in the universe where they started putting body cameras on all the police officers a few years ago. But in a different universe where that never happened, and this exact scenario plays out, we know there'd be riots in the street right now. Tequila Walker, say her name. Say Tequila Walker's name. Because all you need is one person standing around, one witness. This is what they had in the all the way back to Michael Brown. And there was no body cams, and they had one or two witnesses. And so this is all you need. You need one person runs to the media and says, I saw the whole thing. They didn't even try to tase her. They just shot her. And she was unarmed. Well, I heard they had a knife. She had a knife. No, she was unarmed. She was unarmed carrying a child. She was unarmed carrying a child, and she was rescuing a kitten from a tree when this happened. She wasn't even doing anything wrong. This poor woman, she was carrying her child. She was unarmed. She was trying to climb a tree to rescue a kitten. There's a kitten with leukemia. The kitten had leukemia, was stuck in a tree. So she was trying to climb the tree to get the kitten out and give it cancer treatments. And then they just ran up and shot her for no reason. Going online without ExpressVPN, it's like driving without car insurance. You might be a great driver, but with all the morons on the road these days, why would you take the risk? Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, or airports, your online data is completely exposed. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to your personal data. We're talking passwords, bank logins, credit card details, everything. Here's the scary part. It doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack someone. Just some cheap hardware is all they need. As Daily Wire host, I travel the country for rallies and events and all kinds of things. I'm often using a hotel, airport, and public Wi-Fi. With sensitive information at stake, I never connect without ExpressVPN. It's my first and best line of defense against hackers who'd love to access my personal data. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between my devices and the internet, keeping my data safe no matter where I am. Plus, ExpressVPN is incredibly easy to use. Just fire up the app, click one button, and you're connected. It works on all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, everything. Find out how you can get 4 months free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/MattWalshShow. The officer ran up and screamed, "I hate black people," and shot her. I saw the whole thing. I'll tell you right now, I saw the whole thing. That's what happened. And so you would have had someone run to the media saying all that, and the media would just report it. They'd be taking notes. Oh, she was climbing. She was right. Oh, the kitten had leukemia. Oh, and they could have the bullet could have hit the kitten with leukemia. Oh, the officer shot the kitten too. Well, all right, we got to write that down. I don't know why I'm imagining like reporters from the 1950s that have their notepads and they're taking notes. But that's the way it would have went. And it's the way that it went for years until BLM demanded that all the cops wear body cams, which, as I've said before, has proven to be one of the great political miscalculations of all time. It has been, I can't think of another example quite like this, where you have a movement, the BLM movement, that is calling for one specific thing, right? They want other things too, but the big thing was like body cams, and they get the body cams, and it kills the movement. I can't think of it. You get what you want, and it kills your movement. It destroys it overnight. Because now with body cams, we can see clearly that basically every officer-involved shooting is not only justified, but like extremely absurdly justified. That's what you learn from body cams. You watch body cams and you go, oh, so every single time the cop shoots someone, it's justified. Almost every time. It's not even like a close call. And it does help to see it. I remember, you go back again to 2015 when the cop in Ferguson said that Michael Brown charged at him. And that, that was after we got the ridiculous, he was on the ground with his hands up yelling, "Don't shoot." And he got shot. Completely made up. I mean, the scenario I just painted of the cat in the tree with leukemia, that is not more absurd than what they actually claimed in Ferguson. That he was giving himself up, right? It's like the scene in Platoon. He's on his knees, hands in the air, right? Up to the heavens. And the cop just comes up randomly, executes him in the street for no reason. But after we got that lie, then we finally heard the correct version of events from the police officer. And that version was that Michael Brown, after he just committed a strong armed robbery of the convenience store, that he charged at the police. And at the time, every leftist in the country said that the cop must be lying, that it can't possibly be true, because nobody would just go charge at a police officer who was pointing a gun at them. I can remember distinctly having this conversation with multiple people, and this was always the answer. Do you really expect me to believe what? What is this, a movie or something? You're telling me that this officer was pointing a gun at him and he charged at him? Oh, come on. That's ridiculous. And I remember at the time, I was totally on the officer's side the entire time. I was completely opposed to the BLM narrative in Ferguson from day one. I didn't buy the false narrative at all for even a second. But it was hard to sort of imagine a person charging full speed at someone who's pointing a gun at them. Because I believed, I mean, that's what the forensic showed. The counter narrative to that was totally fantastical and incredible in the literal sense. It was incredible. But still, it was hard because I'd never seen that. Like except in movies, I'd never actually seen it. It's like, who would do that? Unless you are actually completely insane to the point where you don't even function. You can't function. You're in an insane asylum. But anybody else charging at a police officer pointing a gun at you, who would ever do that? It's hard to imagine. As a normal, sane person, you can't picture that. Well, now we have the body cams, and like every other month, there's footage of someone doing exactly that. We've seen now, this is not one time, this is multiple cases of like a bad guy in a movie. Knife over the head, screaming, running right into gunfire. And what we learn is that, no, this actually happens. Like, these are the kinds of people that cops deal with every day. They're dealing with the kinds of people who would do that. Or that's like a thing that will happen. You have to worry about that. And that's why BLM is dead. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.